Howdy friends, welcome back to musicmoose.org. We've been sticking around with us, learning some of these rudiments, fundamentals of guitar, and we're glad you've been around with us. We just left off in the last lesson about the chop, the emphasis on that and, the one and rhythm. And some of you may be wondering, I kind of breezed through that last episode and maybe didn't touch on exactly the subtleties of the chop and how you get that kind of muted sound without voicing the whole chord. So basically, if I'm here in the open G position, the first position, or this G here, really anywhere, what I'm doing is, it's kind of the same technique that you almost might do with banjo and mandolin also. Instead of pressing all the way down and getting that full chord out of there, I'm actually using about half the pressure on the strings. And sometimes I may dampen the strings with my right hand right near the bridge. You can hear that, how it's kind of muted. You can still hear the notes, but they're not ringing out clear and full. Right? So you can do that in any position. It just takes a little getting used to. You can see there I'm not pressing down and voicing that whole chord. But if I did, now if I was to go ahead and take that to this G, up to the next G, you can see all the way up to the next G. And usually when I'm playing backup behind somebody, as I've mentioned before, I like to bounce around to keep it from getting too redundant in one spot. Basically, you can see the overall effectiveness that chop does have. It's almost like incorporating if you were to think about having drums in the band, if you thought about what the bass is doing when it's going boom, 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 do that 1-5 pattern, right? If the bass is doing this 1, 2, 1, 2, you're not hearing the and in there. That's where that chop comes in. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. You can kind of think about like the bass is almost like the bass drum on the drum kit, and the chop is almost like a snare hit. If you're familiar with drumming and often wondered about that type of rhythm, how it might fit in. So I kind of compare it to that sort of thing. And usually in the band situation, when you got a nice loud mandolin chop or a banjo chop, or the guitar is doing a little chop behind their solos, it really does kind of give that percussive snare drum kind of effect. And of course, we encourage you to do that with all your chord shapes. If I was to go ahead and play just a 1, 4, 5 in G, C, and D. See that the overall effectiveness there. It's very percussive, very strong, and it'll give your friends in the band an equal opportunity to solo. So we hope that this is sinking in for you and you're having a good time woodshedding along with the old chop. But get out there and chop some wood, friends. We'll see you next time here at musicmoose.org.